Also, Arsenal were just finishing their chances. I mean, look at the goal Kai Havertz scored. When was the last time he scored a goal like that? You know, I
And
mean,
by the way,
everyone was.
he missed a sitter earlier in the match as well.
No. I know. But I mean, dude, when the other team just plays like that, I mean, there's nothing you can do. However, I mean, going back to this game, Man City versus Newcastle, this can be a very, very exciting matchup. Um,
Okay.
I mean,
Say
Brother,
your
are you
Arsenal
okay?
Leicester. Say your
Brother,
Arsenal Leicesters.
brother. Man, this is why you
We're
don't
talking
rap
about.
for 2 minutes, bro. God
my
damn,
bad.
let me get a
Okay,
word
wait.
in.
My bad.
I'm
My
trying to.
bad.
Welcome to episode 27 of the CoDaKrew podcast. Today we're making predictions for Matchday 25 of the Premier League, and if you don't already know how this works, Kaibo and I get 1 point for correctly predicting any given match, win, loss, or draw, and we also have multiplier rules on screen now. Also on screen now is our predictions last week. Kaibo got 3 points, I got 4. Honestly, not our finest work, but that just shows the unpredictability of the Premier League nowadays. That being said, I maintain a healthy lead still, 124 to 106.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get straight into it, I guess.
All right. First of all, we need to go all the way back to match day 15, because we had a postponement, but now it's getting replayed. Everton versus Liverpool.
Man, I mean, we have always been, as a Liverpool fan, right? We've been consistently ahead of the table despite playing one less game than everyone else. And, this game for me is just a way to widen the league, widen the lead, our hold in the lead for free. I think this should be, again, I don't know about a comfortable win, but it should be fairly easy for us. And we may have lost 2-0 in this exact same fixture last season, which we did, but it's okay. And I do want to say that loss 2-0 last season ended our 12-game unbeaten away run in the Prem. So quite sad, but we are a different team than last year. And for that reason, I have a 2-0 win for Liverpool.
I also have
Okay.
a 2-0 win. I think it's worth mentioning, by the way, that this is going to be an away fixture for Liverpool, and Liverpool are the only team in the leagues so far that have not lost away from home. Now, I will give some praises to Everton. David Moyes, 3 for 3 now, bro. Every game that he's managed for Everton so far, they've won. They won again, 4-0 domination over Leicester. But I think
Oh,
against
that was.
Liverpool, that's where the buck always stops. I mean, Nottingham had their season dashed through being neutralized by Liverpool. Bournemouth's 12-game unbeaten run taken out by Liverpool last week. So I don't know. This feels like the impenetrable wall where miracles die. And also, I just want to say one more thing. I disrespected Salah, and then he just scored that amazing clutch goal against Bournemouth. That second goal, absolutely insane. So I ain't doubting
Yep.
him anymore.
Yep.
Is
And I
that
do want to say 2 goals, by the way. He scored 2 goals, not just one,
Oh
2.
yeah, but I'm saying that second one in particular, Jesus, man.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I gotta say, he is the only person in the world that can make a goal like that with, I believe, 0.03 or 0.04 XG look that easy. Genuinely, it just looks like he kicks the ball as if he doesn't care. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but it's so casual
so
and it's
Yeah,
effortless?
so
he makes it look
relaxed.
so easy.
It looks so easy, but no one in the world can do what he does. So again, I was never worried about Salah. Always believe in him. And I do want to say though, one thing before we do move on though, I did see that Gary Lineker actually revealed this. Editor, you might want to put this on the screen right now. But basically, he revealed in his podcast um, that he was joking around with Salah, and basically Salah asked him like, "Why? When did you leave the Prem? Like, why did you leave?" And
Did he not get it out with him whether he's staying or going or not? No.
I didn't know, but he did ask me. I don't. I think he was just being funny. He was just kidding because the Liverpool press guy was there. He said to me, "So how old were you when you finished?" I said, "Well, English football." I said I was 32 and I went to play in Japan for a couple of years. He went, "Oh, you went for the money, did you?" I said, "Well, yeah, I suppose so." And he went, "Yeah, might do the same."
You better stress he was only joking.
He winked at the press guy that was there, and it was just a joke. But
Yeah.
basically, he said, "You went for the money. I might do the same." And I get it. He's joking around, whatever. But I do have a few takeaways from this. Number one, he isn't very confident about his future, which, I mean, again, I am not either, really. I mean, these new owners are not really doing the best right now. I mean, it really sounds like, I mean, it's really starting to feel like, obviously not to the same extent, but I mean, what just happened a few days ago with Luka Doncic, right? And just the owners being absolutely stupid. And, I'm starting to really feel that way. But if he was going to leave and if, he wasn't going to be playing for us anymore, I do want him to leave for money or whatever. Like, I feel like that's fine. I'm not going to view him differently because he left for money or whatnot because we didn't offer him a contract. So to me, I don't really have a problem with it, but please re-sign Mo Salah. He's the best player in the world.
All right, we'll see what ownership decides to do. This
Hope
is
so, yes.
business. This is a business, though. So
It is a business, yes.
yes. All right then. Um, we shall move on then.
Yep.
Next up, we have Brighton, who they had to run against that dominant Nottingham Forest team last week. Yes, and then they are going against Chelsea. Who you guys got?
I mean, again, I think this is quite straightforward. I know Chelsea had that bump before, but they've won the last four matchups with Brighton. Um, I believe that this is going to be a somewhat high-scoring game. 3-2 win for Chelsea.
I get that, but I just want to say, how many times this season have you made predictions because this one team historically plays better against this other team, and then when match day comes, something completely different happens. This is a norm-shattering year in the Premier League for a multitude of reasons, and I will say there's a bit more to this. Now, first off, yes, I guess Chelsea are trying to get back into form a little bit, but it's still pretty inconsistent, right? Like, if you look at their last four Prem games, for example, draw to Bournemouth, win against Wolves, that was kind of shaky. Win against West Ham, where they were behind for most of the game, and a loss to City. So on paper, it's a bit better, but I'm still very concerned about the team. And also, consider that Chelsea and Brighton are actually going to play each other in the FA Cup a few days before this matchup. Now, I don't know about you, but if I were the Chelsea owners, I would think the Premier League, we're probably not going to win this year. And the best we could hope for is Champions League. But if there's silverware that we can get, I think the FA Cup is there for the taking. And we've seen with like Arsenal, Man United, earlier in the FA Cup, for example, that teams like this who know they probably won't win the Premier League are going to be inclined to play their starters in the FA Cup rather than the Premier League. So I predict that Chelsea are going to actually not play their starting lineup in this match. So I'm going to go with a draw.
Wow, that's very, very interesting, and I will be putting a times three multiplier on that. I
All
do want
right.
to remind you that Chelsea are in fourth place right now. They are in contention for the Champions League. They have Manchester City, which are 2 points behind, Newcastle United, which are 2 points behind, and Bournemouth, which are 3 points ahead.
Okay, but
Behind, sorry. Like
That's true, but
every
but you have to
game
consider
matters. Even
they're playing backups.
that's but you now
uh,
you're assuming that they're going to prioritize getting into the Champions League over the FA Cup. And in my opinion, it doesn't make a lot of sense because uh Chelsea are objectively they're young and talented, but they're not good enough to contend for the Premier League or the Champions League. So whether or not they make it into the Champions League, I think is less important than trying to potentially win the FA Cup. That I think is much more achievable for them. And besides, we know Chelsea is more of a tournament team than a league team.
hmm. Uh, that's interesting, but I do want to say I feel like both matter. I mean, they are a young team, and I think getting into Champions League football is important, and I think that's something that the team understands. So I do believe they're going to actually value this match. So I
Uh,
guess little disagreement there.
but
Okay.
but what?
Well, I would still say though, like again, I just want to re-mention like Chelsea's form in the Prem have not been that good recently, and they haven't like for example, uh they're playing this game away from home. Brighton, I know they had a very bad game, but they have the experience to hold their own in their own stadium. Like they actually tend to get a lot of draws and get some scrappy results. Meanwhile, Chelsea, for example, they actually haven't won an away game in the Premier League for almost 2 months. So I think
hmm
there's just a multitude of factors that are going to allow me to predict a 1-1 draw here, and I'm going to put a times two multiplier on you.
I mean, with your argument, wouldn't Brighton prioritize the FA Cup? I mean, they're
No,
definitely
but
not
the
winning. They're
difference, the
not making
difference is
Europe.
no. But the difference is Brighton are definitely not going to win the FA Cup, or I should say, almost certainly not going to win the FA Cup. Like for example, in the last I think like 5 years, or I don't remember what the statistic. It was something like even in the last 10 years or something like that. It's only like 4 or 5 teams that have won the FA Cup. It's one of
Hmm.
those tournaments where if you're not one of those teams that happens to play well in the domestic cups, you really don't have a chance. And I think if anything,
All right.
Brighton is like a mid-table team that is more interested in getting uh the prize money and the infrastructure built that comes along with doing better in the Premier League.
I see. That's interesting. Okay, well, we'll see then. We'll see who plays their starting lineup.
I think yeah, this is one that will be interesting to watch. Uh, Interesting to watch before the game as well.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Oh, by the way, Darian, did you have your? Oh yeah, no, you did say your scoreline. Never mind. My bad.
Yes. Yes. All right. We shall move on then. Leicester versus Arsenal. Arsenal, like last week, they coming off that dominant 5-1 win against Man City. I mean, like you guys were all saying Man City gonna win. What
I
happened to
was
that?
whoa! Don't put this on me. I did not say that. That was Kaibo.
Well, Kaibo was.
Okay, look, I would like to apologize. I thought it would be a statement win for City. Clearly, the exact opposite happened.
Literally a statement win for
Um,
Arsenal.
yeah, yikes. Okay, wow. I do want to say though, I mean, City didn't. I know the scoreline doesn't say so, but I don't believe City played that horribly. I think there were just moments in the game where people made mistakes. Like Kanji made mistakes. Phil Foden made like 6 mistakes. Like I I just think the team overall played fine. It was just players.
We were
And
having. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, and honestly, like, there wasn't really much you could do. And also, Arsenal were just finishing their chances. I mean, look at the goal Kai Havertz scored. When was the last time he scored a goal like that? You know? I
And
mean,
by the way,
everyone
he
was.
missed a sitter earlier in the match as well.
No. I know. But I mean, dude, like, you have Lewis Skelly, the scoring too. I mean, on his debut, like, man, I mean, everyone was scoring. Congrats to him, by the way. But I think that's just I just think Arsenal just played good, and sometimes when the other team just plays like that, I mean, there's nothing you can do. However, I mean, going back to this game, Man City versus Newcastle, this can be a very, very exciting matchup.
All right.
Um,
Wait. Okay.
I
Say
mean,
Brother,
your
are you
Arsenal
okay?
Leicester. Say your
Brother,
brother.
Arsenal Leicester's.
brother. Man, this is why you
We're
don't
talking
rant
about.
for 2 minutes, bro. God
My
damn it,
bad.
what are you got to
Okay,
worry
wait.
on?
My bad.
I'm trying to keep you on course.
Sorry. Arsenal have looked amazing. Leicester have looked, I mean, Leicester. So I have a 3-0 win for Arsenal.
All right. Yeah, pretty much what Kaibo said. Leicester have literally no consistency. We fought. I thought there was a little glimmer of hope after that last game, but then Everton just beat the life out of us 4-0. Absolute domination. It feels like no one on our team was even trying, man. So yeah, easy win for Arsenal. It's now, I think, yeah, 4 straight wins for them. They're really adapted to not having Saka. So yeah, I mean, I think this is gonna be Arsenal's 3-0.
Yep. So do they have a chance at the league now, do you think?
Arsenal. Well,
Yeah.
Like
first,
this
well, a couple
season?
of factors. Couple of factors. I think, for one, does Liverpool beat Everton? So are we assuming they do? Because while
Yeah,
there's like
I
this
would say
one
so.
game in hand, that still complicates things. So assuming that they do, that's a 9 point gap. I mean, I think it's a very small chance. It's a chance, but it's a very small chance because when you look at the remaining games that Liverpool have this season, that means they minimum have to drop 9 points. And I don't know. I feel like there's not even that many chances that they can realistically do that. I'm looking at Arsenal and Chelsea, maybe something there, and then
Yeah.
Newcastle and City. And I feel like those are basically like the only 4 games. I guess you could put Villa in there as well. Only 4 or 5 games where Liverpool really has a chance of dropping points.
Uh-huh. Yep. Honestly, you're right. I mean, I think the league is Liverpool's to lose,
I
right? I
agree.
mean,
Yeah.
if Arsenal get anywhere close, that is sure they've played good, but it's mainly because Liverpool played bad. Um,
Well,
so
but they would
you know,
no, but it would have to be not only that and also Arsenal going on an insane run, like winning every game, which is possible,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, Arsenal tosses when you
anything is
need the
possible,
points the
man.
most.
Anything is possible.
Uh,
All right.
Okay.
all right.
Don't make a bet you can't win, or don't make a bet you can't win.
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
That's
All
fair.
right. Yeah. But speaking of possible, is um is Leicester making it out of relegation?
Man. I know I said this before where I was like Leicester might survive, but I mean recently, man, I don't know. They have been looking really bad, man. So I don't know anymore, man. I think the three teams currently in relegation might just stay there for the rest of the year, man. I don't know.
I would like
Yeah.
to, the way I see it, right? I think Ipswich and Southampton and Ipswich are going to have a very tough time, and we can talk about them more in their matchups. I want to wait on this conversation a little bit until Wolves' matchup because I think I will say now, I think Wolves are the favorite to survive. Leicester are the favorites to be 18th. But I'll get into that a little bit more when we talk about Wolves game because I think that win against Aston Villa is very telling to me.
Hmm. Okay, that's fair.
All right
Absolutely.
then. We'll get there. In the meantime, let's talk about Man City versus Newcastle.
Okay, I apologize for talking about this a little bit ahead of time, but again, to repeat myself, this is going to be a very, very exciting matchup. We know what happened last time, right? A very exciting game. Um, However, I do actually have a City win, and I don't know where this faith in City comes from, right? I know they have been consistently not doing the best, but I mean, I swear the second I bet against City, they are going to be on the up. City is at home, right? Unlike, that 5-1 loss against Arsenal. Newcastle have just lost to Fulham at home. I mean, not the best. Surely City don't lose again, right? I mean, like, surely. There's no way. But again, it's going to be a very high scoring match again. I have a 3-2 win for City.
This is the sort of logic that makes me very uncomfortable. I do have a City win as well, 2-1. I mean, both teams have I think have pretty shady defenses and have just looked pretty dodgy in general, right? In the last couple of matches, City. I mean, we've seen what's been going on, and even when they do win, it's like less convincing than it used to be. But the way I look at it, Newcastle's most recent loss against Fulham, to me, shows that while they have a very strong front three, one of the best, arguably maybe even the best front three in the league, their defense is not it, and that's the main weakness. Their center back pairing of Dan Burn and Fabian Schär are just not good enough. And I mean, the only real backup that's decent for them is Ben Botman, who isn't getting any playing time for some reason. But anyways, I digress. City are at home. Rodri, by the way, might be coming back for this match because remember there were rumors that he might be back for the Arsenal match. This is in 2 weeks, so I'm just saying. So I think playing the odds, I have to give this to City.
Yeah, for sure, man.
All
Absolutely.
right. You know what? I actually am very interested to know, like, where are they gonna play Marmoush in this game? Because like I know they played him against in the wing before, but also last game against Arsenal, they played him like in where De Bruyne usually plays. So that's gonna be
Yes.
interesting.
Honestly, I do think that is his ideal position. I know it didn't really seem like that because I mean, the game just wasn't that good, right? But the honestly is the ideal position for Marmoush. It's sort of like being that second striker role. So honestly, maybe Pep has some other genius idea, but historically, from his past teams and where he's historically played, I do think that is the most optimal role for him. I don't think he's going to be very effective out wide. And I do believe that just players like Savinho's just playing amazing, okay? And I don't feel like you should be moving him out of that position. So I do feel like the current position right now is optimal. But again, it's a new team, right? So give him time. I think he will adapt.
I
All
fully agree. I
right.
think honestly, Pep just tends to overcomplicate things, and it's really biting him in the ass this year. But I mean,
Yeah.
like it's just very logical. Play Marmoush, he is a natural, number, what do you call it? Like a natural number 10, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say
Like,
number.
sorry,
He's
not
like
number
a
10. What's it?
not number 10,
What's
like
like
a
the
center
Bobby
forward
Firmino play?
ish,
Yeah, center forward. That's what I'm trying to
like a center
talk about. Yeah,
forward. He's like
he's like a
a
very natural
second
center forward.
forward. Yeah, a second striker. He can play on the wing, but he's most comfortable in the striker. And he's actually said that in an interview before. I believe when he came to City, he said he was most effective playing down the middle. So Pep knows what his players wants. Marmoush knows what he wants. Just give him time to adapt.
All right. We'll see his role this time. Anyways, let's go on then. Aston Villa versus Ipswich.
Man, I just want to talk about Aston Villa. They have been cooking during this transfer window. They have made $81 million while making their offense arguably better. I mean, they got rid of John Duran for $77 million. Which, by the way, John Duran is an amazing player, absolutely amazing. But I mean, he is nowhere near 77 mil. So again, I mean, amazing money that you get in, right? They also made 24 mil. They also made 10 mil. I mean, dude, these guys they're balling in money right now. And look at the players that they got in. They got Daniel Malen, which I mean, he's been cooking at Dortmund. He's been playing amazing at Dortmund. One of the most underrated wingers in, I mean, Europe. Absolutely amazing. Got Andreas Garcia. They got Marcus Rashford on loan. They got Marco Asensio on loan. They got Desai on loan. I mean, man, this team is. I mean, half the team is going to be new, and they are looking amazing, amazing. I do want to say I'm very excited um, for them, and man, I mean, Ipswich they're in a relegation battle. I have to give this to Aston Villa, 2-1.
Dude, I think on a long term scale, I do get the Villa plays, but I definitely don't think it makes them better. And I think like you're saying like, oh, half the team's been replaced. That's not a good thing in the middle of the season. You don't want to replace half the team when you're trying to contend for Europe. And it's like you're getting rid of John Duran, who, by the way, editor, put this infographic on the screen. I hid this from Kaibo. John Duran is the only player in the Premier League right now who is averaging more than a goal every 90 minutes. So I get it, like 77 mil, that's a lot of money. But I'm just saying, bro, people are still criminally underestimating how good John Duran has been for Aston Villa. And I'm just saying, you're replacing him with Daniel Mayen, Marcus Rashford, bro. Those guys are just not up to par with John Duran. Let's be so honest. So
Okay,
long term, I get the
Mhm.
move, but in the short term, I think that's going to hurt their season.
I do understand that. Look, I would argue I'm one of the people who have really appreciated John Duran. Like genuinely, I believe he could have been a top striker in a Champions League level side. Genuinely, I genuinely believe in that. I mean, he won Aston Villa so many games off the bench, right? He's the reason why Aston Villa beat Bayern this season. He's amazing. But I mean, dude, when I don't know, man. I just feel like
No, but no.
they
Here's the
didn't
thing,
get
though. I don't.
worse. Yeah.
I think you're underestimating him. I think like what is 77 million? What is it? That's not.
Yes, he got sold for
Yeah.
That's
77
not.
mil.
That's not a crazy price tag at all. I mean, this guy is as good as he is right now. One of the best attackers of the best league in the world, and he's only 21 years old. He has crazy potential, and he's now going to be wasting away his career, or at least part of it, in the Saudi Pro League. I think 77 million, if anything, might be a steal for this guy, dude. Like
What?
Wait,
his potential is limitless. I mean, again, think about it. The most efficient scorer in the best league in the world, and he is 21 years of age. Think about how good he could be in 5 years if he's developed properly. And think about
Huh.
the price inflation of strikers nowadays, right? Like the best, like for example, I know this is like overused, but like Neymar Jr. to fucking PSG, bro. Like, is he really worth 3 times the cost of John Duran? Like, dude, I
Yeah.
I know like it's the price inflation sort of puts me out of perspective, but this guy is quality. He is an investment, bro. He is a U.S. Treasury bond.
Hey, I mean that's pretty funny. He did play in the MLS, so I don't know if you intended to with that, but I mean, okay, that's fair. But I don't know, man. I mean, there's no team in the world that would pay 77 mil except some Saudi Pro League team.
what 77
I'm
mil
no no
for
no no.
Duran?
No, I
Wait,
disagree with that. You're really telling me. Like I don't know. I don't know. Like for example, you're really telling me Inter Milan isn't gonna splash the cash 80 million to get like a striker that's like a generational striker that's gonna be doing it for 10 years. I
No,
think it's a very reasonable price
they're
tag
not.
actually.
When was the last time Inter Milan splashed 80 mil?
Listen, okay, I'm just giving that as an example though. Like I'm just telling you, there's in the market of teams today, there are so many teams, for example, even in the Premier League, so many teams that like have the money and they're just waiting to splash it on someone, hoping that it works. Like Man United, bro. Man United, Tottenham, Arsenal, like those teams, I can definitely see them spending 80 mil, 90 mil, 100 mil on John
like
Duran in the next year
they're
or two.
No.
they you
Okay,
know
no. I mean, at this moment though, currently, right now, no one is spending 80 mil.
I'm sorry, but it's just a strike, like it's a striker out of nowhere, 21 years old, that's as good as he is. Like I really don't understand why there isn't more hype for him.
yeah, I think of it, 77 mil for John Duran might not be so bad, especially, you know, especially since Anthony was like nearly 100 mil, bro.
Okay, come on, dude. I mean,
You're really telling me
all right,
Man United, who spent 100 mil for Anthony, isn't gonna pay 80 million for John Duran?
all right. That's fair. I guess so. Yeah. All right. Okay, that's fair.
Can I talk about Ipswich as well though? Because you say Ipswich is in a relegation battle. I say Ipswich is relegated. I think it's already over because
Wow.
they're they're. I know you're pretty bullish on Ipswich, but they're 19th in the table. They're below Leicester and Wolves. They just lost to Southampton, and both Leicester and Wolves still have a game against Southampton. And realistically, they're both gonna win. Let's be so for real. So that's
Really?
like
You're confident like that? They're
dude,
gonna win.
Southampton are so bad this year, man. Or at least they absolutely should win. They absolutely should win. And the thing is,
Okay.
even if only one of them win, Ipswich have to be better than both of them to make it out of relegation. To be clear,
Yep.
so like
Yep.
assuming Wolves beat Southampton, which again absolutely should be happening, that means the gap between them is 5 points. And with
Mhm.
Wolves' experience, their attack, their killer instinct, vs Ipswich. I mean, think about how many games this season Ipswich has dominated, had the better chances, and they only got a draw or even lost the game, right? Like
Yep.
to me, it's very obvious the trajectory of these two clubs. It's gonna be very hard for Ipswich to bridge that gap, if even possible.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you have a valid point, but I have one valid reason that could just support your entire argument. Look at the game they just played. They let Southampton win. That's all you got to see. That's all you got to see, mate.
Let
You let
Southampton
South.
win?
You let Southampton win. You go straight down to the championship. I'm sorry, dude.
The game slipped. The game slipped from their hands. I'm gonna be real. The game completely slipped from their hands. They had so many chances and they couldn't convert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, that sucks.
All
I
right.
Anyway.
will say though, prediction for this game. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, even though there's gonna be a bit of shakiness when you're changing the club around as much as Villa are, this should not be a problem for them. 2-0, they're at home.
Yep. And I have a 2-1 win.
All
Interesting.
right
All
then.
right.
Let's go on. West Ham versus Brentford.
Man. Okay. Again, I here have a. I actually have a draw. Because first of all, Brentford are away. Brentford are horrible away. I mean, they have 2 wins, 2 draws, 7 losses. West Ham have also not been on best form. Um, I don't know. I mean, I think this game was quite hard to predict for me. So I think it got to be, in the middle on this one. I think I have a draw.
This
All
game,
right.
I agree, it is very hard to predict, but I think just to play the odds, I'm gonna have to go with a West Ham win, and it's basically for very similar reasoning to what you said. Brentford have the third worst away record in the Prem. Just lost the winnable game. Just lost the winnable game against Tottenham. So, I got to back the home team in this situation. West Ham have had a down season, but I still think that they have better quality than Brentford. It's just Brentford are
Yeah.
just really good for whatever reason when they're playing at home, but they're not. So
Yeah. And that trend has, I mean, started to die as of late. So we might see Brentford start to, drop down the table. But yeah, for sure. I think their placement in the table is quite heavily inflated by their insane home record early on in the season.
yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. So I'm gonna
yeah,
go with a 2-1 win for West Ham, and I'm gonna put a ×2 multiplier on you.
yeah. I have a 1-0. And yeah, I have a 1-1
Wait,
draw.
one? I thought you said 1-1. Yeah,
Sorry,
1-1.
sorry, 1-1 draw. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, how are you putting in multipliers?
Let me look at the next games. I mean, honestly, might as well. I'll put a ×2 on this one, I believe.
All right.
You will be putting at ×3, I believe.
Wait, what?
Well, never mind,
No,
times
he
two.
will be
Never
putting
mind.
a
No,
times
times
two.
times two. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Times I put a ×2. Yes.
Wait, but Darren, you're putting at ×3.
No, I'm also putting a ×2.
No, 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 Darian, you put a ×2 on my previous one. I
No, I put a
remember.
×3. I put a ×3 on the
No, you.
previous one.
Oh, really? Editor, play it back right now. Make this guy
No,
look
yeah,
like a
play it back.
clown.
I said ×3. I think there's
Hmm.
just a multitude of factors that are going to allow me to predict a 1-1 draw here, and I'm going to put a ×2 multiplier on you.
I mean, with your argument.
All right,
All right. You know
we'll
what? It's
see.
okay. Okay. You know what? We can change it afterwards. Okay. But
Yeah,
editor,
fair enough. Fair enough.
if
Fair enough.
if Darian's wrong, make this guy look like an absolute clown. Okay. I'm telling. I promise you, on everything. I promise
Yeah,
you.
when Kaibo is wrong, I mean, he's already made himself look like a clown with that Man City Newcastle mix up over there. So I mean, I don't know why you're digging
Come on,
yourself a
dude.
deeper hole, but it is what it is.
You know what? It's better for the viewers.
It's okay. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just
It was
enjoy the
tricky, but
show, guys. Enjoy
yes.
the show.
Anyways, I guess you can put your times 3, which technically is a times 2, but you can. Anyways, you can put your multiplier on there. All
All
right.
right, I'm
Right.
putting my remaining multiplier on this match.
Yes. Okay.
All right then. We're moving on to Fulham versus Nottingham Forest. And last week, gotta give massive props to Nottingham Forest, man. 7-0 against Brighton. Chris Wood, hat trick, by the way. Pretty impressive. Crazy. And also
Absolutely.
37% possession as well.
Have you
Yeah,
ever seen
absolutely.
a
Again,
team with 37% possession, 7-0, demolish another team like that? Crazy.
yeah, for sure. Again, we've actually made a short about this exact game. They just lost 5-0 against Bournemouth, and now at home they win 7-0. We made a short about this. So again, check it out if you're here and you're a new viewer. I think
Chip
you would
on the
enjoy it.
shoulder, bro. They
It
got
was
that chip
great
on their.
timing. It was the 7-7 Nottingham Forest goals. It was in perfect sync with a Kendrick song. Which, by the way, Kendrick Lamar has gotten us like 18K views by just spamming his music in our videos.
Yes.
So that's pretty
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, I do want to say though, I believe Kendrick alone has, just from Not Like Us, has gotten more Grammys than Drake. So wow, there are
What do you mean
levels to it.
Kendrick
Let me just say.
alone? One person has gotten more. You mean not like us
I
alone?
mean, I mean, Not Like Us alone. Yeah, sorry, Not Like Us alone. So there's levels, man. There's levels.
Yeah, I
Anyways,
mean I'm just saying that the pairing Kendrick Lamar and Nottingham Forest deadly duo. Let me just say.
yeah, absolutely, man. Again, I mean, Chris Wood is back in the Golden Boot race. Amazing. I know Darren, you wanted to touch upon that. I believe.
Yeah, I was going to say that with that hat trick, he now has 17 goals, tied for third in the Premier League Golden Boot race, only 4 behind the leader Mo Salah. So there's a chance, honestly. I was going to say like Nottingham after this game, it showed, and this has happened in various times of the season. It feels like all the time, like every time Nottingham slip, we sort of expect them to after that game go back to mid-table status and just sort of fall off. And that hasn't happened yet. And once again, it didn't happen this week. So I just don't think it's going to happen. I think this is just a genuine team that is able to go the distance. I don't mean win the Prem, but go the distance, finish top 4, not have a drop in form. I mean, the main factor for me is I think I put this in my notes. This is maybe a hot take, but I think they have one of the best front threes in the league, and they're on par with whoever else you want to say. They're on par with Newcastle. They might even be on par, not better, but on par with Liverpool. So
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. As a Liverpool fan, I take offense to that. Okay. I believe
seriously,
Liverpool as a front 3 are genuinely levels above everyone else. I actually do agree with your hot take that Forest are on a level with United. But I genuinely believe, this is not even biased. You're going to say I'm biased or not. I genuinely believe the Liverpool front 3 are just another level above everyone else. I don't believe there's an argument
I
for
think
that.
that's just bias. I'm sorry, that's just bias.
No,
I feel like
no,
you're not, bro. Because I'm just telling you that it's the consistency. For example, when you think of like the top clubs, right? Like for me, there's a reason like Arsenal, for example, is on this conversation. Kai Havertz misses too many open chances. Like he's not like he doesn't have the consistency. Or for Chelsea, Nicholas Jackson doesn't have the consistency. But I'm telling you, it's the same as when you watch Liverpool. The strikers, they do not miss a lot of clear-cut opportunities. It's the same thing with Newcastle. And that's actually one of the main reasons why they're doing so well. When Gibbs White, Wood, or Elanga gets the opportunity to make the easy pass for an assist or score, it's an anomaly when they fail.
dude. I know, but I mean, dude, just look. All you got to look at is the number of goals we've scored. We've scored 56 goals. The closest team after us is, I mean, we got Arsenal.
Arsenal 49 is
Yeah,
second,
yeah.
but
7 goal difference, man. We're a game down. By the way, we have a game in hand. That's all I got to
okay.
say, man. That's
I hear
all.
you,
That's all I got
but
to say.
that's a reflection of just your entire team's ability to score goals. I mean,
Yeah.
with Liverpool, with the fluid style that Arne Slot plays, it's not that they're scoring more goals than everyone else because it's just their front three is that much better. It's because your entire team is just that good.
I don't know, man. I just believe our front three is just so clinical, and it's also like the flexibility of our front three, man. Everyone is just flowing around, like it's so fluid. It's amazing. So
Well, I
again,
mean, it's the whole team.
Yeah,
it
I
is the
mean
whole
it's the
team.
whole team.
So that is true. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I guess so.
All right
Anyways,
then. Is that all we have to say?
I wish I
yeah,
could.
man,
I wish
that's
I
all we
could quick.
got.
I wish I could find out how many goals, both of the
Just the
front
front
threes
three that
have.
scored.
But it's very hard for me
I
to. It's gonna be
literally
very hard for
gonna
me to do
Google
that
that.
quickly.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is true.
I
Yeah.
can do
If
that
if you
quickly.
could figure that out while we talk about other games, that'd be great because I'm genuinely very curious.
Yeah,
Oh, but
absolutely.
like, do you want me to like look at like just the front three players for
Yeah,
each
just the
team?
front three. The front
So
three
which?
starting lineups. So for Liverpool, I think I would say Salah, Diaz, and Gakpo. Is that accurate?
Uh, to be honest, if you, yeah, somewhat. I mean, Gapo and Diaz don't really play together that much because they generally both play on the left.
That's true. I
Um,
don't know. What would you
but
want to say? Like
to be
maybe
no,
Diaz
to
and
be honest
Jota?
with you, we don't. Jota's been injured a lot too. Like
Yeah,
we
that's true. I wouldn't
really
be. That
don't.
would be a fair comparison.
We.
That's true.
I'm gonna be honest. We don't have an actual striker. I mean, no offense, but I'm sorry, Darwin Nunes, you're not a striker. You're the goat, but you're not a
I
striker.
mean, I wouldn't put him in. I wouldn't put him in your front three.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
unfair of
you know
me
what?
if
I
that's how I
would
did it.
still go with Gapo Diaz Sala just because Diaz has been playing in the striker position recently, and he actually did. Like the first time he played striker was against Leverkusen. He scored a hat trick.
Uh huh.
So and he's been playing recently as a striker. So sure, that could be your lineup. Gapo
All right.
Diaz Sala.
For Nottingham Forest lineup, that's Chris Wood, Erlanga, and
I would say Gibbs White. I mean, you could also. Yeah, I would say
Yeah,
Gibbs
yeah,
White. Yeah.
yeah. I would say Gibbs White. Yeah.
Gibbs
Anyways, we should
White.
probably move on. I'll do the transition, I guess. This
All right.
big opportunity for me. Southampton versus Bournemouth. Man, okay. I mean, Southampton have just been horrible, and there's no way they get 2 wins in a row, right? I mean, I hope you guys do. I mean, it's not going to do anything, but I mean, surely they don't, right? I have a Bournemouth win. 2-0.
Yeah, they're just not good enough for the Prem. Remember before we were talking about how like they were for that win in clear danger of having the worst Premier League season in history. Now they just need they just need to reach the 11 threshold to not have that. So I think they're gonna be able to avoid that dishonor this season. But yeah, I mean Bournemouth have been really good. It was until this Liverpool win. That was 12 games unbeaten, and I think that included being Nottingham, Newcastle, United, and Tottenham. And I believe they've also beaten City and Arsenal this season. So this is a very good all around team, and Southampton are not ready. So I'll say 3-0 for Bournemouth.
Yeah, very fair, very fair. And I do want to say, I don't know if we gave our Nottingham Fulham score line, so I do want to say I had a 2-0 win.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
But
say
again,
a 3-1 because Nottingham always high scoring.
all right, yeah. Corey, should I transition? I guess I'll transition. I guess I'm
Yes.
assuming you're still looking at the stats. Okay, next game, man. Crystal Palace versus Everton. Um, this is a great matchup. I mean, they're both mid-table. I mean, kind of mid-table, mid-lower table teams, but they're both on relatively great form. I mean, Palace in their last 8 have 5 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, which I mean is amazing, right? They're clearly doing great right now. Now they're at home against this Everton team that have won the last 3 games. It's going to be a very close matchup, but I have Palace narrowly winning 2-1.
I actually agree with you to one scoreline, and I'm actually surprised I agree with you. I thought you were gonna go with the Everton win,
Oh
but
fuck no!
apparently we do
Absolutely
agree.
not.
Okay,
Everton wins, yo. When was the last time I said that?
I'm just saying
Come
they
on,
are
dude.
on 3 straight wins, so I thought maybe I don't know.
Yeah, look at Palace, man. Look at Palace, right? I mean, you know,
Oh, look, you
uh,
never know. Okay, I was gonna say like Palace, right? Remember, it was at the start of the season, Palace and Everton were really like two of the three teams in the relegation zone, and now in a span of 10, 15 matches, uh, Palace have gone from that to like a mid to a not even lower mid table, just a straight up mid table team. That's an
yeah.
insane recovery for me. So I think they're, if anything, underestimated. While yes, Everton new manager boost 3 for 3, but like how many new managers, Amarin, Pereira, Van Nistelrooy, Potter this season, were like they play very well for the first few games, and then people overinflate them, overestimate them, and then it all goes crashing back down to earth. Regression to the mean. So for me, I'm gonna have to go for Crystal Palace winning.
Damn.
Okay.
I completely agree with you, but I do want to have one thing to say to you.
All right.
Arnie slots. That's all I gotta say, man.
No, I mean like
Uh,
new, like I mean like mid. I mean it's like managers being brought in
No,
mid-season.
no, no, no. I know what you meant. I just had to say that out loud. Just had to inform you.
All right.
all
Okay.
right.
Thanks for that, Kaibo.
Okay.
You're the goat.
No
Okay.
problem.
I got the numbers. It's not particularly close, bro.
What?
Yeah.
Damn, that definitely means it's for Liverpool then. That's not particularly close.
Yeah, because like the funny thing is that Gibbs White and Elanga haven't scored that many goals. Like Gibbs
Well,
White
they're
only
more like they're more assisters than goal scorers, to be
Oh,
fair.
now here come the excuses.
but you
Look
look
No,
at
at
okay.
their
I'm
assists
just
but
too.
saying.
Gibbs
Wait,
White
wait,
I
only
wait,
has
wait.
four
Like,
guarantee
hear me
you.
out.
assists.
Hear me out. No. For example, right?
Stop
Because
it.
no, wait. Let me talk. Like, for example, because I was actually looking at this as well while you were doing this. I think like Luis Diaz, for example, right? He has 8 goals and 2 assists. Anthony Alenga only 3 goals but 8 assists. So
Okay,
like, if you're looking at the goals, like Luis
combined.
Diaz is much better. But if you watch the game, like you see Anthony Alenga's impact.
Yo, look at Luis Diaz's impact, dude? You wanna do goals and assists? You wanna do goals and assists?
We can do goals and assists. Okay, to be clear, I expect goals and assists. Liverpool will still be higher, but it won't be like the gap percentage will definitely be a lot less.
Oh, and I disagree with that. Let's see.
I actually it
So can
won't
you say
make a
the
difference
goal?
at all though.
Can you say the goals tally?
The goals tally is 37 to 25.
Okay, I can quickly look at the assist. I figured out a quick way to do this.
Yeah. Anyways, while we're looking at these stats right now, we should probably move on. So
Okay,
um, next match. Speaking of Liverpool versus Wolves. I think there's not much to say here, man. I have a
not
Liverpool
much to say here
3-1
at all.
win. Yeah,
Yeah,
3-1 win. We're at Anfield. Come on, dude. And our final game. The two laughing stocks of the league. Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester United. Man, this is going to be an
yeah, but
absolute
you're not even gonna let me
monster.
say anything about Liverpool Wolves.
Oh, I mean, go ahead. I mean, what are you
We
gonna
mean
say?
go ahead.
You gonna-
You just went on to the next match. You didn't even let me get a word in, man.
What are you gonna do? Shit on
Wait,
my
did you
front
even
three
say
again?
scores?
Oh, I
I
said
didn't
three
say a
one, but
word.
hey,
I didn't say anything.
all right. I don't. My bad. I just didn't want to hear you shit on my front three again. But go ahead.
All right, I just wanted to say, if you look at the assists, I think it's like you guys are still ahead on assists, but it's only like 18-14. I'm just saying, like you talk
Four
about
goals is a lot.
you
And
talk
most of it is Mo Salah.
and yeah, and most of it is both sides by the way. Like talk about
Okay.
Gibbs White and Elanga don't have that many goals. Well, dude, Luis Diaz and like CoDaKrew, one of them only has 2 assists, the other only has 3 assists. It's just different play
That's
styles.
fine.
It's
That
fine. I'm just
it
saying
is
it's different
different
play
play styles.
styles.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just saying.
for sure.
I'm just saying you have to you have to take that into account holistically, not just the goal scored.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, it's gonna take me a lot for you to convince me that the Liverpool. I mean, dude, the Liverpool front three are arguably the best front three in Europe. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
even
I
think
agree with that. I
their
don't disagree with
competition.
you. No, I'm not saying Nottingham's
Their
like
comp.
better. I'm just saying they're like around. I'm just saying they're like on par. Like they're like what do you call it? Like they're competitors.
No, 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 no. That was like you saying Nottingham Forest is competing to win the league. No, they are not.
I mean,
They're
they're
not.
like right there though. Like they're like third place.
No, they're right
Like
there. They're right there.
it depends on like how you define like competitiveness. But I mean, they're right there,
They're
dude.
about to. We're about to be 12 points clear of Nottingham. That's that's not. Come on, dude.
A win against this new like Everton is never guaranteed. Especially not you're playing that. That's an away match too. You know, you never know.
No, no, no. That is fair, but I don't. We're not gonna lose. We might
Okay,
draw.
well you might draw. You might draw. That's a difference.
Okay. Okay. 10 points clear. Oh my god, big difference. Like seriously, come on. You know.
10 points clear. I mean, maybe there's a chance. 12 points clear. Yeah, I get it. Like that's not gonna happen. 10 points maybe. Because what's the biggest difference? What's the biggest like the biggest points difference between between like the best team like halfway through the season and the eventual winners was 12. So so I actually make that distinction. It's an important benchmark historically. 12 points at this point of the season is sort of when you can't get back from it. But anything below 12, and there's still a chance.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. All
I'm just,
right.
no,
Sure. Sure.
I'm just saying based on the history of the Prem. Like
Yeah. No, no, no.
that's
I
just sort
know.
of the
I know.
benchmark.
Okay, sure.
Alright.
Keep telling yourself that.
You keep telling her,
Anyways.
bro, it's just statistics. What do you mean?
Okay, yeah. Okay, sure. Meaningless, but sure.
By the way,
Anyways.
2-0 for Liverpool.
Okay.
Okay, and I have a 3-1 win for Wolves. I believe I said that
For
before.
Oh,
Wolves?
3-1 for Wolves?
Oh, wait, oh my god, wait, no, no,
Yo,
that is not
yo,
going.
Tom, you've been
That's
so
not
fried
going.
today, man.
No.
Oh my god.
3-1 win for Liverpool. Oh my
This
god.
guy's been so fried. Holy.
Okay, anyways, last match, I already kind of introduced it, but I have a Man United win. I believe anything can happen in this match. I mean, we have the two of the most, I mean, I don't even know what's,
Unpredictable.
are these,
Let's
are
just
these
say
even teams
unpredictable.
anymore? Yeah, this is very unpredictable.
Two of
Tottenham
the
have nine of their
two establishments.
Yeah, two establishments. Yeah, let's call them that. Tottenham have nine of their players injured. Manchester United, but here's my reasoning, right? Manchester United have got rid of a lot of players that the coach really didn't want, right? They got rid of Rashford, they got rid of Anthony, um, and I think this is going to add some sort of boost to the dressing room. So I do have a 3-1 win for Manchester United.
I don't think removing the player is gonna add a boost. Amarin still needs to actually get like the actual pieces, the players that do fit well into his system. Until then, they're gonna continue being dodgy and slipping away points for no reason. I agree with you. It's gonna be very hard to predict, but I'm gonna go for Tottenham win for two reasons. One, they're at home, and two, I'm just looking at like earlier in the season. Like earlier in the season, Tottenham and United were as down bad as they are now. And at that time, Tottenham, for whatever reason, dominated them in that first match at Old Trafford. So I don't really have much
Mhm.
else to go off of. I'm gonna go just with a Tottenham win. The most disrespectful scoreline possible. I'm just gonna go for 1-0. Just some random guy like taps the ball in. It's just like it's
Yo.
ball carried around in the box, and then just like I don't know, Kulusevski or whoever just gets on the end of it, right place at the right time, and parries it in.
Yo, should have
Man,
saved
okay.
your multipliers. Should have saved the multipliers for this one.
Not really.
Oh,
I
I
mean, I think
win
this
because
is
I win because this is so unpredictable.
this is basically an agreement. There's really not much. This is just complete random chance.
Yeah,
Do,
but that
do
would
you?
have made things interesting.
Okay. I mean, do you see Matty's Tell making an instant impact for Tottenham?
It's gonna take time, especially when
Yeah.
Andrew's system is so peculiar. It's gonna take some time.
Yeah. Agreed.
Alright.
Honestly.
Imagine this turns out to be a draw.
Hey, honestly, I hope so.
No, draw wouldn't be surprised.
To be fair, both teams need it. They need points, so
Yeah, they need a draw. A
it would
draw
be
is really for
beneficial
both of them
for
to
That's
both.
win
like
You
a
know.
relegation this year.
that's like mutual
Anyways,
benefit.
I think that's all we have for this week's match day predictions. Do you guys have any final thoughts, concerns, anything at all?
I think
Yes.
go ahead,
Not really.
Darian.
No, actually, I do have one quick thing. I have one quick thing because I heard about this. So I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you heard the news, but this was I think a few days ago.
Oh
Brighton
yes.
actually rejected a $95 million bid from Matoma from I think someone in the Saudi Pro League. I don't remember who.
Oh dang, they
That's the
offering it.
thing. If I were Brighton, I would have accepted that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Again, bro, you're pricing this. You're Matoma. I rate him right, but you're really gonna price this guy at $20 million more than John Duran? Dog, nah. That's crazy. They're really just spending the money on whoever now. That's crazy.
Yeah, it'll probably attract a lot of fans, but they'll certainly not be lacking any star power.
I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See ya.